Well, at this time, the main presentation tonight is from Ms. Johnson from D3 My Way. She's been taking staff and some others through a process for the name change process, and we wanted her to present to the community.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm Caroline Johnson, the principal of D3 My Way.
I'm a student. I'm a senior at
Yes, she's one of our wonderful seniors and has been with us through this name change process. So this came about as we are going through some changes at D3 My Way. Of course, we've become an online school, and we used to be a program. And so as our needs of our community shifts and kind of our focus shifts, we have felt that our name needed to shift. And so we embarked on this process in November, and we are here today to get some community input and feedback and to kind of let you know what we've been up to. So of course, whenever something like this happens, we have to follow policy. So there is a district policy, Code FF, and it talks about what needs to happen in order for you to change your school name, because that's really a big deal. It's not something you want to do lightly or without thought or consideration. So according to policy, you can change a school name if the current name has become obsolete, is deemed inappropriate for the community it serves, is unsuitable for the program it houses, or because of a significant event and or the contribution that is attributable to a person or organization, or for any other good reason established by the board. And another part of that is a committee of stakeholders, and we have a lot of those committee members here today. So if you're on the name change committee, could you raise your hand really quick so everyone can see? We had a lot of input. We had teachers, we had students, we had district members, community members, and past principal. So it was really a fun process, but also a very process we took really seriously. And we're really excited today what our input was. But also, not just what we wanted, but what our community wanted. So a big part of this process is seeing what does the community want, what does our students want, what our staff want, and our wider community.
Okay, so we have a few reasons of why the name is being changed. It's not just because we want to change it. We really wanted to come up with like a really unique way to identify our school, since we now have a mascot for our school. And we also wanted to eliminate the confusion with D3 and D3 My Way, because it gets confused a lot. And then we wanted to make it more inclusive for the new students, because we opened up our school so we have capability to bring in people from a bigger area. And then it also is to shift it to be more. So our school is more than just you do it yourself online, and we wanted to make it known that you have a community that supports you as well as do it yourself, if that makes sense.
D3 My Way, we really focus on collaboration and community and connection. Our slogan is part of the pack, because our mascot is a wolf. This is our junior version of the mascot. We have one for K-5 and then an older version of the wolf for our secondary 6-12 students. So we kind of had a tight timeline. We really wanted to get our name change going pretty quickly because, as Alana had mentioned, we are in the process of opening our school up to students from other districts. In Colorado, if you're an online school, you can only take 10 value waiver students, unless you apply to be a multi-district school, which we are in the process of doing. And so we really kind of wanted to get our name about the same time that we were going to be submitting that application to the state. And so on November 10th, we all met as a committee, and we worked through our whys, like Alana went over. And we also had to submit a letter to the superintendent, Mr. Duran, stating our whys and letting him know what we were going to be doing the next couple of months. We sent out an initial community survey November 14th through 18th, and that went out on our social media, via Remind. Students filled it out, community members, parents, staff. And from those initial survey results, we met again on December 1st and went through those and came up with our top suggestions. And we sent out a final community survey December 5 through 9. But on the 15th we met, we looked through that. Part of that survey was also getting additional feedback on those name choices. And then, of course, today we are here to present to DAAC our finalist name option. And we will be back on January 17th at the board luncheon, and also with one of our additional community members, who is a fourth grader, so that will be fun. And then we will hopefully hear something from the board on January 19th about what next steps will be.
So the first survey we sent out, these were what we were making sure we got out of the community. So we want to make sure we figured out what was important to consider when going to a name, like geographic location and the education style of our school. And then we wanted to reflect the enrichment aspect and also promote our mascot since we do have a mascot now. Then we wanted to also make sure that the new name will have longevity, so it's not just, oh, we'll have to change our name again next year. And then we also wanted to take into account what a Pathfinder is, and we're determined and goal-oriented, and like Ms. Johnson said, we're collaborative. We wanted to focus on highlighting those. And we also wanted to focus on what made D3 My Way unique, which was like being online, being flexible. There are relationships with teachers and students, and that this is just more about like having a safe learning environment where you're comfortable to be yourself, as well as learning all in one space.
A lot of times when students come to our school, we do meet and greets with our new students so they can learn about our school, make sure it's a good fit for them. They're kind of surprised about that connection piece that, oh, I can come to the building, I can do this, I can do that. And that's a really important part of our culture.
Other factors that we wanted to make sure that we paid attention to was it needs to be able to be appropriate for all grades, K through 12, because we have to make sure everybody can say their school name and be happy with it. So we wanted that. And then we also didn't want to put virtual or online into our school because we didn't want to scare people, because it's more than just an online school now. It's enriched as well. And then we also wanted to make sure that it was unique and not like other names in our area. And we did that. And then, so after we sent out the surveys, the final options that we got from the first survey was Haven Exploratory School, Haven Exploratory School, Haven Collaboratory School, Exploratory School of Enrichment, Exploratory School of Collaboration, Compass Collaboratory School, and Compass Exploratory School.
And so from that, we had the survey open for about a week, and you can see we had students, staff, parents, and community members vote. And it wanted to know, like, how are you connected to the community? And we had about 50% about students, and the rest were other community members and staff and parents. And then based on that, we had the majority of our stakeholders were leaning towards Haven Exploratory School or Haven Collaborative School. So you can see combined that was about 50% of our responses. And Alana had a great idea on the survey to make sure we left a box on there where people could give us some more feedback. So we want to make sure we got the name right. And we were very committed to it. If we didn't have the name right, we would continue the process and make it a little bit longer. This is a really important decision for our school community.
So the feedback that we got was fits with how the students describes the experience as a Pathfinder, and we also got that it was a little bit too long and hard for the elementary kids to say, so we wanted to focus on making sure it was very much like inclusive for the students that attend here. And we settled on the Haven School of the Pathfinders.
And so a haven is defined as a safe or peaceful place. And this was something that was iterated in a lot of the feedback from our students and parents. That students feel safe at our school. They feel that they can be themselves, that they are connected, that they found somewhere that they belong. So this was just a common theme, and this was a word that connected all of that into one simple word. You know, our Pathfinders experience a safe learning community, and they're supported by everyone in the pack. So our pack is our students, it's our staff, it's our parents, like anyone that's involved in the educational experience of the students. And at D3 My Way, everyone is part of the pack, and students are welcome to come if they want a safe place to learn, make mistakes, connect with others, and explore the world around them. We really try to make sure that our students feel comfortable with our school and with the staff, and we really focus on that relationship component.
Yeah, I would definitely say I've gone to D3 since middle school, and I wasn't on a very good path in middle school. I'm not gonna lie, I was going down not a good path, and I started D3 My Way, and it kind of helped me turn it all around. So I was very excited to be a part of this journey, and I think the Haven fits our school very well.
And this is just some of the feedback we got from students, both on our surveys, but also I sent out some additional requests for students to describe how D3 My Way has been a haven for them. So the focus is on finding what works for you in your circumstances, and a lot of the small things are non-factors here. People are allowed to be their unique selves. It helped me heal my social anxiety with the one in-person day. Our students have flexibility where they can do a lot of their learning online, but then they still can come in and get support and practice those social skills in a comfortable environment. To be a pathfinder is to be part of the pack, and to be part of the pack makes you feel important and feel connected to our community. Is something that's special for our students. It's a safe haven because there's no bullying in our school, and I know so people can be who they want to be. The part is where there are teachers that support you along the way. And they aren't just any teachers, they are top-notch teachers, so thank you to our teachers. Every single one of the teachers here are caring, and they want to get to know their students as people, not just students. And I can go at my own pace, and this makes me feel like I'm not pressured, and I strive when I'm not feeling pressured. So that's just some of the feedback we had gotten from our students throughout this process, and things that we strive to be as a school.
Sorry. The whys again was to consider the community, consider our community's feedback from the final survey. Meet the qualifications set for initial survey feedback. Encompasses descriptions of students' experiences at D3 Sorry.
And it just links back to all the things that we had said at the beginning of our journey, that we wanted to make sure we were valuing within our nation. So at this time, any questions, feedback? Our next steps are presenting to the board, hopefully getting final approval. And then our next steps are going to be to integrate this into our school. So that's going to be kind of a big process. If there's any ideas or thoughts about that, we would love to hear it. Changing a name, there's a lot of things that go into that. Websites, documents, signage, t-shirts. So there's a whole process that we have to go through. And our students that are graduating with us this year will graduate with the D3 My Way Virtual School Diploma, and will officially change our name next year. So any thoughts, feedback?
So it's officially Haven, what's the name?
So it'd be the Haven School.
Thank you. Yeah.
I would just say, I was a former online principal, and so I started my network with a lot of principals across the state, and I know D20 created a new school, and the students came together and went through the process, and the name of the school was The Village. And the first time you hear it, sometimes it just sounds different. But this is the thing with D3 My Way, it's a different learning environment, different style, and I think respecting the students and the parents that are connected to that culture is important, and to me it's just, it makes total sense. So thanks for all your hard work, it's really sharp.
Great.
Well, we are very excited. We'll be seeing you on Tuesday, and there's one other student in tow, hopefully, and we're really excited about continuing just to brand our school as we continue to establish ourselves in the community as an option for our students and beyond in the hopefully the Pikes Peak region with our new status as a multi-district online school. And again, a big thank you to everyone that dedicated their time to this process, that taking time out of their day to provide feedback, the students that completed the surveys, the parents that did that. It really was a community effort. It wasn't just one person making this decision. It was our school community. And that's why it's important to us, because it's a collaborative effort. Just like Mama said, that's a big part of our school. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ms. Johnson.